So I want to make videos explaining each reason why I refuse to identify with the gay community. The very core point of all of these reasons can be summed up as the meanest people I know are gay men. So with that said, I have always had a devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the 5 wounds, and the last wound of God, as well as the Shroud of Turin. If you don't know what the Shroud of Turin is, you can Google it yourself. I'm not going to educate you on that today. What I will educate you on is that when I got this tattoo, this was my second and third tattoo. The second tattoo was the actual wound part, which I requested to be hyper realistic. So my amazing tattoo artist researched morgue pictures of stabbing victims. He also took into account the stains on the Shroud of Turin. Just a really quick summary, the Shroud of Turin is Christ's burial cloth. There's a whole lot more than that to go with it, but you can do your own research. So, basically the image on the Shroud of Turin is believed to be the true image of Christ. And the placement of this wound, if you notice, it doesn't look realistic when I'm standing upright or sitting in this case. I have to lean forwards a little bit like someone hanging on the cross for it to drip down in a up and down fashion. Also, the blood itself is imitating the locations of blood in the Shroud of Turin. This is not a finished tattoo. There is another aspect. It's called the blood and water from the side of Christ, but it's really blood and lung fluid. So there will be a very light bluish, just a little bit of blue, mostly transparent, I guess liquid in this case, will be a tattoo, will be added to the parts that are not connected. So this is a 3-part tattoo, and the wound itself was $50. The blood itself was supposed to be $50, but I did $60 because I was going to split up the blood and the water. So it's going to be $60 and $60. It was going to be $100 normally, but he added $10 for splitting it up. And then, because it's been over a year since he was able to get me in, he has surprised me as a Christmas gift to finish it for free. So he's going to do $60 worth of tattooing, which honestly, in my mind, that's very inexpensive. There are a lot of tattoo artists that are really unreasonable for my price range, and I'm really grateful to find such an amazing artist. Now, part of me, it's already gone, I can't go back, part of me would have just had the side wound and not the blood and water. Because the side wound is hyper realistic, and the blood and water, at least the blood right now, is not so realistic. I will ask him when I go back there if he can add shading, which he probably will. He can add the water and then also the shading to make it more realistic. I just currently, I love what he has done so far, but it's not finished. And I'm hoping when it is finished, blood and water would look more realistic. But you have to understand there is no shading in this blood. He only did the coloration at this point. There's no black shading or outlines or anything like that. So this is an unfinished piece of work. And I know I'm going on about this tattoo, but it means a lot to me. And I love that it's a hidden tattoo for me because I rarely in public take off my shirt. And I only do that at home with people that I'm comfortable with. And the thing is, when I posted this online, leave it to gay men to degrade women, but they were making comments, vulgar comments, degrading women, comparing women to my tattoo, if you know what I mean. If a woman in her womanhood looks like this, she's a cadaver. No living person has womanhood like this tattoo. Leave it to a gay man who's never been with a woman to compare a stab wound. Like, how degrading is that for women? Gay men compare a stab wound to womanhood. And I'm just using that as a term, and I hope you know what I'm talking about. But again, several, and it was only gay men, it wasn't random people, it was only gay men, compared my wound, my tattoo of a stab victim, literally made after a morgue picture of a stab victim, comparing that wound to a woman. No person who loves and is devoted to women, like a straight man, not all of them, but some of them, would ever compare a woman and her womanhood to a stab wound. That's just not acceptable. And that is one of many reasons why I say the gay community is a huge red flag. And then I say that the gay community, or the gay men, are the meanest people I know. And I don't understand what it is about me that triggers these people so much. I just know I enjoy knowing I bother them and trigger them. That gives me some energy. That gives me some power. The fact that I can control their emotions and make them feel bad is wonderful. The fact that I can control the emotions and the feelings of people who have never supported me, never had my back, and never had my goodwill in mind. I'm glad I triggered them. I hope I give them anxiety. I hope I give them internal rage. I hope I hurt their feelings, because they don't care about any of the things I just listed about me. And even though I'm a Catholic, I'm not going to be the better person and let it go. No, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to make it public, and I'm going to let everyone know. And then possibly I'll let it go. But again, just the moral of the story, I got a very personal image of Christ on my, or Christ's last wound on my person in the same place as him. And gay men compare a stab wound to women. That's how degrading and just vulgar gay men are. And so I understand why a lot of women are anti-trans, because they also come from the same community that would do a similarity between a stabbing wound and a woman and her womanhood. So I support women. Like if there was a choice between supporting the trans community or supporting real women, I'm with the real women. Like I'm no longer, like if there's an option between anyone associated with the LGBT community and anyone else that is pious or kosher, then I will go with that pious or kosher choice and not the other side. I've already made videos how I no longer identify as gay. I've already made videos of how I condemn the majority of the gay community, not the individuals, but the community itself. It's very hypocritical, very toxic, very toxic, and it's very vulgar, as you can see. It's very, I don't understand how a man, I do understand they're gay. They don't have a connection to women, they don't respect women, they don't care about women. Because a woman would never look at this and think, that wound looks like me. No woman who is living would think that. So again, it's not like, it doesn't affect me when someone I don't know, someone who's never supported me, someone who's never funded me, someone who's never had my best interest in mind, I don't care that they are triggered or upset or even what they think of me. What is bothersome is the disrespect for women. Because again, as a Catholic, I have a strong devotion to Mary. She is the model of all women. And I feel that they deserve respect and honor as much as any other person. And I don't think any person besides stab wound, a mortal stab wound to a woman. It's just shameful, and that is why